Hello, my name is Jack. What I'm gonna tell you is true, and I know probably you won't believe me, but here's my story at least. Couple of months ago, I got a copy of Super Mario 64 for Nintendo 64 by my friend, Robert, who had just moved from our old neighborhood. I was very sad because he was my best and only friend. So I plugged in the system after I received it from him and was ready to play one of my favorite childhood games. Now, it's me, Mario, of course it said when I first started up. And then I got to the file select screen, which had all files filled, everyone with 50 stars exactly. So I deleted file 1 and started a new game on it. But then something strange happened. The opening scene with Peach inviting Mario to the castle didn't show up. Instead, it took me just directly to the game. So I took Mario directly to the castle. When I entered the castle, I could hear these weird clapping sounds. Just like this. I thought the game just lagged for a minute. So after about 5 seconds it showed up just normally. But then I realized something. The Toad wasn't inside a castle like he usually is, in a corner, near the front doors. So I just went out to a big battlefield and jumped in a painting. Then the star select menu came up. File 1, Big O Bomb King. Of course I picked it and took Mario to try to get up on a mountain to defeat Big O Bomb King. But then I realized something was wrong. It was raining. Lightning struck down. What? Wait, this is not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be a lighted up place with bright blue skies and white clouds, with this catchy music. Instead, it wasn't any music at all, just the sound of rain and lightning strike. But I thought this was very interesting. Maybe it was some beta version of the game somehow. Now I took Mario up to the you know, where Big Bomb is standing, the king himself. So I approached him and he turned around and said, "Do you really want to fight me?" And I actually got an option to answer him, yes or no. I picked yes. And then he said, "You silly man, you can't defeat me." Okay, I thought to myself, and continued the game. Everything went normal. The fight went just like it's supposed to go. I defeated him after 3 strikes. You know, you threw him on the ground 3 times. And he said, "Haha, you defeated me this time, but just wait until you meet the king himself, Bowser. Bye." And he exploded and I got the star. Now as I got out of the painting, it was actually pretty frightening. I tried to get out of the door that leads again to the returning point to the castle main hall. But the door was locked. It was totally closed up. I couldn't get out. So I jumped in a painting again to the big bomb battlefield level. Now, as I got there, you couldn't do the race. No one was there to approach. But it was still raining. Actually, it seemed like it was raining much more extreme, just like the lightning went more extreme. But then I heard something saying, "I'm gonna chase you." And then a black version of Mario came, out of nowhere, and started to chase me, and I ran. I ran as fast as I could. Now I felt like I was starting to shake, breathing much faster, because I didn't know what was going on. This frightened me, because everything seemed so realistic. Everything seemed real. So I just kept on running. I was running everywhere. Then I got the fun idea. I just take one of the cannons. But silly me, I haven't unlocked the cannons yet. You can't do that before the Star on the Island level. That is the next level, level 3. Now, as I ran up to the mountains where you're supposed to run when you are doing the race star level, I ran up, but there wasn't anything. Then I realized the Black Mario had showed up right behind me and said, "Time's up." Then he just ran through Mario with the speed of light. He just went right through him, like cutting through him. Then I saw Mario close his eyes and screaming of pain. He started to gag. He actually started to puke all over. And then the screen faded to black. And a video showed up. It was Mario. It was Mario in the long corridor hall that leads to the courtyard. He was just laying there. You could tell that he had stomach pain because he was saying like, "Oh, oh." And then you could see that he was gagging, puking up green and red blood-like liquid. And then the Black Mario appeared, and Bowser showed up behind him. Also the Goombas. Actually, every single of Mario's enemies were there. And then they said, "We've had enough of you, Mario. Now it's time to pay the price for what you've done to us." They started to beat him up real bad. They used like a knife-looking object, very sharp object, and it cutted several parts of his body. Until it started to bleed real bad with those open cuts. And then it dragged him down to the basement. And inside the basement where the rabbit appears with a lava level, he was in the water. You could see that the water turned red from all the blood from Mario. He was simply starting to getting weaker and weaker. And suddenly, the Black Mario faced Mario and looking right down on him with those red glowing dots for eyes and saying, "This was a faith you wouldn't expect to meet, Mario." You could see Mario started to beg for his life, but it didn't really help that much, as Bowser appeared and burned him with his horrible fire breath. They burned him alive. I was shaking like crazy now. I couldn't even speak. I was so shocked and so scared by what I just had seen. What the hell is this? This is evil. This is bad. Even if this is just a hack, this isn't a funny joke. I just started to torture Mario again with sick mind games and cutting more parts of his body. He was simply getting just weaker and weaker again. Started to throw up this green-red blood-like liquid again, and what they did right after that is the most horrible things I've ever seen in a game before. You could see that Mario was badly burned. They cut off his eyes. They cut them right out, and Mario screamed. He screamed of pure pain. And then they took and ripped off his mustache, removed his hat, burning his scalp, opening up his skull, rip out the brain, and then they cut his whole body open, his stomach and chest, ripped out his Oh, this is just too horrible to say. They ripped out his... You know what's inside of him. Intestines. And then Mario started to shake on the floor with the water. He was shaking. He was still alive somehow. And then the screen faded to black, and Mario fell from what seemed to be the sky and went right down, splatting right on the ground. He was in front of the castle outside now, and the game started over again, saying, "Now the real story begins. Ready or not, the game starts now." I went inside the castle main doors again, just to meet Princess Peach and Toad and every single of Mario's friends. Even Luigi was there saying, "Surprise! Happy Halloween, Mario!" I can wake up every single night now. This was not a funny joke. Even though I found out that it wasn't a joke, this was real.